Last Tuesday, the Columbia Political Union held a debate between the college Democrats and Republicans on the controversial topic of affirmative action. The Hamilton Lecture Hall was packed with people waiting to see who would step over the line of political correctness. They were not disappointed.
Say, we need people of a certain race in our university in order to be diverse. Essentially what you're saying is that people of particular races have certain characteristics, and you couldn't get people in your university with those characteristics unless they're of that race. It basically plays into this racist argument, albeit perhaps in a positive way.
If your big concern is ending discrimination, ending racism, and ending the belief that races have certain characteristics, then affirmative action is actually one of the single most effective tools we have to do that.
And so
right, but if you look at the history of our country, you're going to see that a huge part of our historical oppression has been done to racial minorities.
What about Irish Catholics, for example?
You can't possibly argue that the experience of the Irish Catholic is the experience of the black man in America.
But as the debate dragged on, the arguments grew more fierce.
We still need at least one program that actually tries to address the issue.
So your logic is, in order to get rid of racism, we have to define college admission on the basis of race. That's your argument, is it?
Well, I'm not saying define college. I'm saying take it into effect, because.
But you're using you're using race as a definition. You're accepting the ideology that was imposed on all the other races.
Because affirmative action actually has the ability to reduce prejudice in society.
Okay, but you think the reason, perhaps, let's say if you're black and you've got the exact same resume as someone else, is because the employer assumes, well, if you're black, well, you must have got affirmative action. I mean, doesn't it create all these more problems?
All right, respond to that. We really are going to move on to the next question.
That's simply not true. If you look at any empirical study of performances of affirmative action in mid-Eastern
We're not talking about performance, we're talking about perception. We're talking about the perception of white people, because that's what racism is.
But despite the contention and disagreement, both parties acknowledged the harmful effects of racism on our society.
95% of the things that we said in common. We said that we all agree there's a racial divide in this country. We all believe that there has been racism in our past. We believe it's a problem that has to be confronted every single day, and we don't believe that it's ever going to be completely solved.
For CTV News, this is Zach Kagan.